and the public that the matter will not be swept under the carpet. He also called on the people of the state, particularly those who are aggrieved by the killing of Abdin and Kafayat, to remain calm and not to take law into their hands. Lagos Police Commissioner Abiodun Alabi ordered the immediate arrest of 2 officers. The policemen were arrested after being caught on camera harassing people by forcefully checking their phones, and SARS have taken to his timing to share a video of the policeman harassing one of his friends who was harassed by the police, explaining how the incident happened. The source told the policeman who asked for his phone that the IGP have said that no police has the right to check anybody's phone, yet one of the officers identified as Opeyemi Kadiri forcefully took the phone and ran away. Speaking on the matter, the Lagos Police Command said the officers searched the phones under the guise of carrying out a stop and search. Sharing an update on the matter, the police spokesperson in Lagos, Benjamin Kundeng, said the officers will be investigated and prosecuted. The National Youth Service Corps members have been charged to live up to the dream of the founding fathers of the scheme by fostering unity, national integration, and socio-economic development across the nation. These charges contained in the farewell address delivered by the Director General, NYSC Brigadier General M.K. Fada, at the closing ceremony of the 2022 Batch B Stream 2 Orientation Camp at Osun State NYSC Permanent Orientation Camp in Ede. In his farewell address, the Director General NYSC urged the corps members to sustain the spirit of patriotism, hard work, and resilience which has been imbibed during the orientation course. The DG, who was represented by the Osun State Coordinator, Mrs. Wahab Olayinka, further stated that corps members are expected to integrate into their host communities while appreciating and respecting their cultures. In the same vein, the NYSC Osun State Coordinator enjoined them to accept their posting in good faith and desist from lobbying for placement in urban centers, putting the rural centers at a disadvantage. The corps members were thereafter assigned to their primary places of assignment for the completion of their one-year mandatory service.
Actually, God is love.
The federal government has budgeted about 874.83 billion naira for the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development from 2016 to 2021. It was gathered that the import of agricultural goods into Nigeria during the same period were estimated at 7.81 trillion naira, with the highest import of agricultural goods into the country as products valued at 2.74 trillion naira were imported last year. Data from the 2016 to 2021 budgets for the ministry indicated that the government budgeted about 874.83 billion naira for the ministry to drive the country's agricultural sector during the 6-year period. It was learned that data from the foreign trade in goods statistics of the MPS on total import of agricultural goods imported into the country last year was 2.74 trillion naira. Meanwhile, operators in the agribusiness space frowned at the development, outlining a plethora of reasons for the massive imports when compared to what was budgeted and often not fully released to the agri ministry during the review period. And moving on to sports, United States tennis champion Serena Williams has announced that the countdown has begun to her retirement from the sport. Williams, a 23-time Grand Slam winner, added that a time has come in her life for her to move in a different direction. The 40-year-old added that she has to focus on being a mom and achieve her spiritual growth, as there is a time in life when for anyone anyone to decide in moving in a different direction. She noted that she had never liked the word retirement, but would rather go with the word evolution, which means something very specific and important to a community of people. While on the foreign scene, armed fighters with the suspected affiliation to the Islamic State of Iraq and Levant group has killed 17 Malian soldiers and 4 civilians during an attack in the country's south. 9 soldiers were also reported missing, and vehicles and equipment were destroyed as a result of the attack near the town of Tessit, which sits in a strategic border zone between Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger Republic. An unknown number of dead and injured persons were carried away by the attackers, and the death toll from the attack was provisional and likely to change. Reports also added that the Malian forces had killed at least 7 of the fighters, including 2 civilians killed who were local elected officials. And that ends the evening news. Join us at 7 for the major reports. Good evening.
Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I'm persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers. That means there are some things that can separate man from the love of Christ. Number one is death. And life can also separate one from the love of Christ. Number 3 thing is the angel. The angels could cause one to deviate from the love of Christ. How could this one happen? The Bible told us that evil spirits, they transformed like angels of light. It's possible that the angels of the devil transform and call to the foes as light. And we will say I saw an angel, not knowing that angeli to tishubu ni won. They are fallen angels with the devil. They can deceive one also. Consider the story of the great prophet. So that we learn from him. God spoke to him. Go to that city, getting there, deliver the message of God. After the delivery of the message, there will be sign. After the sign, I wonder that happened. Prophesy the message that gives unto you. After that, you must not eat, nor drink. Another will sleep in that city, and your entrance into that city shouldn't be your heresy. And after the
ìdàgbàsókè ìlera nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ti gbèrú àdúgbò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ìdàgbàsókè ìlera ẹ̀yìn ènìyàn wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ṣe mú àtúnṣe nípa ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́ọ̀dé àti ilé ìwòsàn ìjọba gbogbo ìka ìpínlẹ̀. Èyí ló mú kí ètò kẹ́ẹ̀tò kan ìdàgbàsókè ìlera yóò sọ kúlẹ̀kúlẹ̀ ìdàgbàsókè àti ìmúgbòòrò ètò ìlera nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun tí àjọ 7 million lives program àti iléeṣẹ́ tó ń rí sí ètò ìlera nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ìṣonígbọ̀wọ́ ẹ̀. Níbi táwọn ti máa pàdé àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ elétò ìlera láti yànnà náà ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ohun tá a nílò láti ṣe ohun tó yẹ ká jìnnà sí láti lè ní ìlera tó péye. Bákan náà ojúṣe ọ̀dọ́ lórí ìlera wọn, ojúṣe òbí àtàlágbàtọ́ lórí ìlera àwọn ọmọ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. OSBC TV channel 32 UHF ilé àwíyé òkè Baálé Òṣogbo ló ti máa wáyé ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Wednesday aago 4 àbọ̀ ìrọ̀lẹ́ sí 5 gẹ́rẹ́gẹ́. Bímbọ́lá àyàfà lọ́dún olúwa ló dirí ẹwà fákùkọ máa fòbèlè túkọ̀ ètò nìṣó ìdàgbàsókè ìlera àtàwọ̀tò iyọ̀ ọdún àjọ gbádùn ẹ̀ ni.
They were eyewitness to the miracle purpose that God wrote in that place to establish the message of the young prophet.
wọ́n ṣe àlàyé
And they narrated the story to the great prophet.
wòlíì àgbà gbé lára wò.
So the old prophet now became
níbo ni
him.
wòlíì kékeré náà gbà lọ.
Where did he take?
ní pápápá
And
ó ti
immediately
gbọ́n ẹranko ẹ̀.
he ran
ó dọ̀bù kúrò sí
animal
wòlíì yìí.
and overtake the prophet.
nígbà tí wọ́n bá wòlíì
On meeting the prophet,
wọ́n ní wòlíì ń bẹ ní abẹ́ igi.
he was sitting under the tree, resting there.
ẹ̀kọ́ ńlá wà.
There is a great message there.
iṣẹ́ ọba ọ̀run fẹ́ kánjú.
The message from the
kí àwọn
heavenly
ẹ̀kọ́ ọlọ́run ní
king
àwọn ìkádìde.
named haste. We, the ministers of
kí a
God,
ṣe
have
iṣẹ́
to
olúwa
rise
nígbà tí ó wọ̀.
and do the work of God
àgbà tí ó wọ̀.
when it is convenient and when it is not. And we must not do it for
nígbà tí wòlíì
gain.
àgbà dé ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ̀.
When the old prophet got to him,
áńgẹ́lì olúwa sọ fún mi.
he said, the angel of God told
má
me,
jẹ́ kí áńgẹ́lì kó yà ẹ́ nípa.
do not allow the angel to separate you from the love of
áńgẹ́lì
Christ.
olúwa sọ fún mi lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́.
He said, the angel of God told me
kó o padà wá sínú ilé mi.
that you must come back to my house.
ẹ rántí pé olúwa wí pé
Do not forget that it was God that
ọlọ́run
sent
ọ̀run
you.
sọ wípé
The heavenly God spoke
wòlíì
that
lọ sí ìlú tí mo rán.
the prophets go to the city and
jẹ́
send
iṣẹ́
you.
olúwa.
Go and deliver the message
ẹ
of
lọ
God.
ìṣọ́ gbogbo ohun tá a pè ní pẹpẹ báàlì.
And go and destroy all the altar of
ó
Baal.
dẹ̀ ṣe gbogbo iṣẹ́ yìí.
And he did all this.
ọlọ́run dẹ̀ fi díẹ̀ múlẹ̀.
And God established
pé
God,
òun ló ríṣẹ́.
that he was the one that sent
ó
him.
sì gbọ́ràn sí àṣẹ ọlọ́run.
And he was obedient to the commandment of
ní
God.
èkó ìtàgé iṣẹ́ wòlíì àgbà.
At the point of the ministration
iṣẹ́
of
áńgẹ́lì ló fi jẹ́ fún mi.
or at the point of ministration of the old prophet,
kò ní ọlọ́run dá àwọn àtayé tó
angel's
rẹ̀
message.
níṣẹ́.
He did not have the God that made the heaven and the
ní
earth
kí n
that
sọ
sent
fún
him.
ẹ pé kó lọ jẹun báyìí.
He did not say God said I should tell you
tí
to
wòlíì
eat
kékeré
now.
náà dẹ̀ wá tọ́ ọlọ́run lọ pé olúwa
And this young prophet refused to visit God
ní
again.
àgbà tó tún mi lọ́sọ̀ pé ó ní kí n jẹun ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àgbẹ̀.
That this senior prophet is saying that he said I should eat is that so.
ní wòlíì ayérayé lè dá sọ̀rọ̀.
That everlasting prophet should intervene.
wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé bí ẹ̀ tí báwo lè rí ẹ̀.
Maybe the young prophet was already hungry. As we are hungry for money present now, as we are hungry for position present now, as we are hungry for cars present now, as we are hungry for families present now, that makes us in Nigeria. Give somebody help. Serving under the table. Now taking the work of the Lord. Now because we are thirsty for money.
kí a kúrò ní ebíkébì.
We are hungry for money. Let's
wòlíì kékeré padà sí
forsake
ilé.
this hunger. The young prophet ran back home.
ilé wòlíì ńlá.
Return back to the old
kò tí ẹ
prophet.
fi ọ̀rẹ́ sí gara.
He didn't even compare the two messages.
ọlọ́run òun ayé ọlọ́run
That
ọlọ́run sọ̀rọ̀.
the God of heaven and earth, the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac has spoken. And the God of Jacob that become Israel. And somebody then said that. And one day he then said, he then believed the voice of the good prophet and returning to his house. Ate and dined there. And the whole prophet also delivered the message of God. That because you refuse to obey the voice of God and you are obedient because you are good
ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́
kò ní délé bàbá.
ìròyìn ìrọ̀lẹ́ la mú wá fún yín Kamil Abdulrahim oníròyìn yín olórí iléeṣẹ́ elétò ààbò lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí ọ̀gágun Lucky Irabor ti sọ pé ọwọ́ iléeṣẹ́ elétò ààbò ti ba àwọn tí wọ́n wà nídìí ìkọlù tó wáyé ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo a ó rántí pé àwọn jàǹdùkú yabo ilé ìjọsìn St Francis Catholic Church Ọ̀wọ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ní ìṣẹ́jú oṣù méjì sẹ́yìn níbi táwọn olùjọ́sìn bíi ogún ìdàgbére fàyè ìjọba àpapọ̀ ti wá fìdí rẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé ikọ̀ ISWAP ló wà nídìí ìkọlù náà lásìkò ìpàdé tó ṣe pẹ̀lú àwọn olóòtú àti àwọn alámòójútó iléeṣẹ́ ìròyìn làbújá ni olórí iléeṣẹ́ ètò ààbò ìròyìn ti fìdí rẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé ọwọ́ kílé òfin ti ba àwọn tí wọ́n wà nídìí ìkọlù ọ̀hún. Ọ̀gágun ìràwọ̀ sọ pé láìpẹ́ yìí tí ìwádìí kíkún bá ti parí ní iléeṣẹ́ elétò ààbò ilẹ̀ yìí yóò ṣàfihàn àwọn ọ̀daràn náà. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adégbóyèga Oyètọ́lá ti bẹ̀rù àtẹ́lù bí wọ́n ṣe gbẹ̀mí èèyàn méjì tí wọ́n jẹ́ ẹbí kan náà níjọba ìbílẹ̀ Àríwá Ẹdẹ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun nípínlẹ̀ yìí lórí àríyànjiyàn ọ̀rọ̀ kan. Abidin Ọlálékan àti Kafayat ni wọ́n sọ pé ọlọ́pàá kan tẹ̀lé àṣẹ aṣòfin tó sì dẹ́mi àwọn èèyàn yìí légbodò. Nínú àtẹ̀jáde tí akọ̀wé ètò ìròyìn gómìnà ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ismail Onípidán fi síta ni gómìnà ti kẹ́dùn pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹbí olóògbé tó sì ṣàpèjúwe ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ọ̀hún gẹ́gẹ́ bí èyí tí kò dùn mọ́ni nínú. Gómìnà lòun ti pàṣẹ fún iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá láti lọ ṣe ìwádìí lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ohun tó ṣokùnfà ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà tó sì fi dáwọn aráàlú lójú pé wọn ò ní daṣọ bo ìwádìí náà. Ó wá rọ àwọn èèyàn pàtàkì àwọn tó ń bínú lórí bí wọ́n ṣe pa Abidin àti Kafayat láti mú sùúrù kí wọ́n má ṣe ṣèdájọ́ lọ́wọ́ ara wọn. Ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Abíọ́dún Alábí ti pàṣẹ pé kí wọ́n lọ he ọlọ́pàá méjì kóbó pẹ̀lú ìlérí pé òun kò ní fààyè gba káwọn ọlọ́pàá kan máa tako sí aṣọ àlà iléeṣẹ́ náà. Ọwọ́ bá àwọn ọlọ́pàá yìí nítorí bí àwòrán tí wọ́n ká sílẹ̀ ṣe ṣàfihàn bí wọ́n ṣe ń fi tipátipá wo ẹ̀rọ àmúléwọ́ àwọn èèyàn. Ẹnìkan tó bá àwọn tó fi àwòrán náà sílẹ̀ ló sórí ìtàkùn ayélujára níbi táwọn ọlọ́pàá náà ti ń tàbùkù àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n sì ń gba ẹ̀rọ àmúléwọ́ wọn. Ibẹ̀ ni àṣírí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti tú. Nígbà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà, iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá nígbà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà, ṣe ni ọlọ́pàá náà béèrè fún ẹ̀rọ ìpè ọkùnrin náà tí ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá sì ti ṣèkìlọ̀ pé kò sí ọlọ́pàá kankan tó gbọdọ̀ yẹ ẹ̀rọ ìpè àwọn aráàlú wò. Ọlọ́pàá náà tí wọ́n pe orúkọ rẹ̀ ní Ọpẹ́yẹmí Kádírì gba ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ náà tó sì sá lọ. Ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ní ọlọ́pàá tí ó ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yóò jìyà ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rẹ̀ tí kò sì ní lọ láì jẹ́ pé ìyà tó yẹ kó jẹ. Ọ̀gá àgbà àjọ agùnbánirọ̀ nílẹ̀ yìí Ọ̀gágun Mohammed Fada ti rọ àwọn aṣèlú ìlú pé kí wọ́n ṣe níbàámu àti jẹ́ kí ààlà àwọn tó ṣèdásílẹ̀ ètò náà kó jọ pẹ̀lú jíjẹ́ kí ìfẹ́ ìṣọ̀kan ó wà fún ìdàgbàsókè ètò ọrọ̀ ajé yíká orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Ọ̀gágun Fada sọ èyí di mímọ̀ níbi ayẹyẹ ìparí ètò ìfinimọ̀lé àwọn agùnbánirọ̀ tó jẹ́ ìṣìkejì lọ́dún yìí 2022 batch B stream 2 tó wáyé ní ibùdó ìfinimọ̀lé wọn tó wà nílùú Ẹdẹ. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ àpilẹ̀kọ ọ̀gá àgbà náà ló ti rọ gbogbo àwọn agùnbánirọ̀ ọ̀hún pé kí wọ́n mójútó iṣẹ́ wọn kí wọ́n sì tẹ̀lé gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ tí wọ́n ti kọ́ lásìkò ìṣèlú wọn kí wọ́n sì ṣe níbàámu pẹ̀lú àṣà àti ìṣe tó wà ní gbogbo ibi tí wọ́n bá gbé wọn lọ. Ọ̀gá àgbà náà ẹni tí alámòjútó àjọ agùnbánirọ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun arábìnrin Wahab Ọláyínká ṣojú fún sọ fáwọn aṣèlú náà pé kí wọ́n bọ̀wọ̀ fún àṣà àti ìṣe ibi tí wọ́n ti sin ilẹ̀ bàbá wọn. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tí alámòjútó náà sọ ló ti ké sáwọn agùnbánirọ̀ náà pé kí wọ́n fìgbàgbọ́ gba gbogbo ibi tí wọ́n bá pín wọn sí kí wọ́n sì dẹ́kun dídìrẹ́bẹ̀ nípa ibi tó wù wọ́n lọ́kàn láti lọ, àmọ́ kí wọ́n sa ipá tí wọ́n ní láti mú ìdàgbàsókè bá gbogbo ibi tí wọ́n bá pín wọn sí. Lẹ́yìn èyí ni wọ́n pín àwọn agùnbánirọ̀ náà sáwọn ibi tí wọ́n ti lọ àkọsílẹ̀ tí iléeṣẹ́ tó wà fẹ́tò ọ̀gbìn lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí tó jáde ti sọ pé bílíọ̀nù lọ́nà ọ̀rìnlélẹ́gbẹ̀rin-ó-dín-mẹ́fà náírà ìjọba àpapọ̀ ṣètò fẹ́ta náà láàrin ọdún 2016 sí 2021 tí wàhálì sì fi yé ni pé àwọn nǹkan oko tí orílẹ̀‐èdè yìí ń kó wọlé láàrin àkókò náà ni wọ́n ló jẹ́ tírílíọ̀nù 8.8 náírà. Àkọsílẹ̀ láti iléeṣẹ́ iṣẹ́ ètò ọ̀gbìn ọ̀hún. Ohun ìdàgbàsókè ẹsẹ̀ kùkù lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí fi hàn pé àpapọ̀ bílíọ̀nù lọ́nà ọ̀rìnlélẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀rin ó dín mẹ́fà níjọba gbé kalẹ̀ fún iléeṣẹ́ náà láti lè fi mú kí ẹ̀ka ètò ọ̀gbìn kó lè ṣe iye mu láàrin ọdún mẹ́fà ọ̀hún. Ẹ̀wẹ̀ àwọn alámìtọ́ níbi ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ọ̀gbìn ti wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ àtẹ́lu ipò tètò ọ̀gbìn wà tí wọ́n sì fojú láì fi wò bí wọ́n ṣe ń kó àwọn nǹkan wọlé yàtọ̀ sí bíjọba ṣe kéde iye tó ti yà sọ́tọ̀ fẹ́ka náà láti di ọdún mẹ́fà. Serena Williams tó jẹ́ ògúnnágbòǹgbò àgbà lawn tennis ti kéde ìgbésẹ̀ láti fàdàgbà ètò ìrọ̀lẹ́ka eré ìdárayá. Serena Williams fi kún pé ó gbé ìgbésẹ̀ náà nítorí pé ó ti tó àkókò fóun láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìgbésí ayé tuntun. Ẹni ogójì ọdún náà fi kún pé ó jẹ́ òun lógún láti di ìyálọ́mọ kó òun ó sì darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹbí òun. Ó ṣàyẹ̀ pé bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé òun ò fi bẹ́ẹ̀ nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí ọ̀rọ̀ ìfẹ̀yìntì ṣùgbọ́n tó ṣe pàtàkì fóun láti fi àdágbà ètò rọ̀ lẹ́ka eré ìdárayá kó lè bá mójútó ìgbésí ayé òun ní pẹ̀lú. Ikọ̀ àwọn agbẹ̀bùrú jagun kan ní Iraq ti gbẹ̀mí àwọn ológun orílẹ̀-èdè Mali 17 àtàwọn èèyàn mẹ́rin lásìkò tí wọ́n lọ fi tú ọwọ́ wọn lápá gúúsù orílẹ̀-èdè náà. Ológun 9 ni wọ́n ló dàwátì tí wọ́n sì bà ọkọ̀ àtàwọn irinṣẹ́ wọn jẹ́ nítorí bí wọ́n ṣe kọlu àwọn ológun náà ní Texas tó jẹ́ ìlú tó pààlà pẹ̀lú Mali, Burkina Faso àti Niger Republic. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n ṣe ìkọlù àwọn tó ṣe ìkọlù ọ̀hún tó gbé òkú àtàwọn tó farapa níbi ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà lọ. Àríjù báyìí lọ lórí ìrọ̀lẹ́ wa fún ti tàkókò yìí. Ẹ pàdé wa láago 8 alẹ́ nígbà tá a mọ̀ mú àkójọpọ̀ ìgbà fún ní títí ìgbà náà. Ẹ kò tí lọ́nà.
Òṣogbo àti ẹ̀ka wa tó wà ní òkè street Iléṣà ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lẹ́yìn kéde ẹ̀ka wa Jésù yóò fọwọ́ agbára rẹ̀ ṣe ìyanu láyé rẹ̀ fẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ìmọ̀ràn àti ẹ̀rí àdúrà ẹ tẹ bàbá wa nínú Olúwa ní ìdáyé Jésù làkọ̀ lórí nọ́mbà yìí 08063579190 lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí 08063579190. Ọlọ́run àkọ́sùn Joseph Ayọ̀bámọ́lá kò dáwọ́ iṣẹ́ ìyanu rẹ̀ fún nínú ìjọ CAC Orísun Ayọ̀ District Headquarters Ajéwọlé Zone opposite Technical College Tinúmọ́lá Street beside BJ Dinners Òṣogbo Ọ̀ṣun State. Báwo ètò wa ṣe lọ rèé o.